Okay, so 33 years ago on New Year's, my grandfather convinced his daughter-in-law, my mom, not to close her failing business, declare bankruptcy, and move back to Israel. So here's what he told her and how to make it work for you. So my grandfather was an architect and a building planner, and he always did really well financially, but he could have been worth 9 figures today if he would have kept going with his own firm. So what happened was there was a small group of people that started their own business, and they were losing money, and my grandmother was a very, very meticulous, very put together nurse, and she liked Barney's shoes, she liked a stable lifestyle, and she took care of the day-to-day. And my grandfather really relied on her. And she was like, listen, we just can't do it anymore. They lived in a really fancy area. That was like the 90210 of Tel Aviv. It was called Neve Savion. And my grandfather, she's like, listen, you can get a great job, you get benefits, we don't have to worry, we have 2 incomes, we can save money, we can invest. And my grandfather, after a few months, gave up. A couple months later, they landed a huge project. Everyone became a millionaire. And this is like a 1980s millionaire, not like a millionaire today. And he told this story to my mom. And he also said you should hire an employee, even though you're losing money. Like, we were living on the main line in Philadelphia in a house that we couldn't afford, and we had a business that we couldn't afford, and fixed costs, everything. And he's like, listen, I'll always back you. But if you quit now, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. And thankfully she listened to him, and she put me through college. My brother, the business really supported our family. What can you learn from this? So marry the right person who leans into risk and upside, especially if you're a visionary, creative entrepreneur type. Like, you need an integrator, but the integrator can hold the visionary hostage, because it's hard to function without them, and ultimately you need to be aligned on values. The other thing that I think that Liz and I do, that I see other couples do, is we live in a simple way. We still get everything we want. Like, we still have the luxury apartment on the water in Miami, but we make like coffee and matcha and all this stuff at home. Like, it's still really cheap. Like, we still buy the Loewe handbag. We just use a Japanese reseller and get it for $200 with shipping instead of $2,000. We still keep expenses reasonable and cash flow good, so we're never too stressed. Like, with business, you want a little bit of financial stress, but too much or too little is counterproductive. And also, you're often only weeks or months away from a breakthrough. So time moves a lot faster in the online world, so this is even more true. Like, our brains are used to Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett business cycles where things take 18 months. In the online world, things are way faster. Like, things happen in 3 months, and if they don't happen in 3 months, they usually don't happen at all. So you have to shake the box, you have to change something. Then you have to hire employees for day-to-day work as an entrepreneur. You can work yourself into a drunken stupor where you simply can't make critical decisions to move the business forward. It's essential to hire even when you're losing money if you believe in the business. My mother, my brother, and I, we all succeeded in really different ways, but it's all because of these lessons. It was only after my mother had this conversation, a week later she hired Anne. She was doing everything herself before, and she started a triple lead generation strategy. She did radio, she did newspapers, and she did TV, and then the business really started to take off. Today we have other tools. So for B2B, we do LinkedIn cold calling and cold email. Works really well synergistically, like 20 to 40 leads a week, pretty reliably. And then cold email for, and then SEO conversion and paid media for B2C. We integrate all 3. I'll talk more about this in other videos, but if you feel like your business is in that stagnant state, most issues are lead generation issues, please reach out to me, just DM me. I mean, I've got Mirraponte Marketing and I've got Manos Health, that's like, if you feel like we can help, reach out, but otherwise, Happy New Year, and talk to you guys soon.